What's good, YouTube? Listen, this video is about things you need to do before you start to pursue a relationship. More specifically, one thing you need to make sure you do. But before I start, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the largest mental health network in the world. They assist people in finding a therapist that is right for them. You can get help on the phone, on the computer, through FaceTime, through video call, even through text message. And if you ever thought therapy is just too expensive to try, financial aid is even available for those who qualify. So if you've been looking for a good therapist or just don't know where to start, please check out betterhelp.com/care for more details. Now onto this topic. Sometimes people are looking for love, but they're not actually ready for love. Sometimes people are looking to complete themselves when they aren't actually complete. That places a lot of stress and a lot of pressure on your spouse. Whoever you might choose has been given a full-time job to help you and assist you with your self-image, your self-worth, your security, and your mental stability. That's not fair. A lot of people want to date. They're looking to date, but they're not strong enough to date. They're not independent enough to date. They're not self-aware enough to date. They're not patient enough to date. They're not accepting enough to date. They're not forgiving enough to date. And they're not happy enough to date. I meet a lot of people who are trying to pull happiness from whoever they might connect themselves with because they don't have it to give themselves. But no one can make you happy. That's your job. Only you can do that. What you bring to a relationship, mentally, emotionally, energetically, or spiritually, should be healthy before you ask or require someone to offer you the same. I keep meeting clients who are erratic and fly off the handle and deal with self-esteem issues. And when those things pop up, when they're triggered in their relationships, they blame their spouse when really they were dealing with that before those relationships started. I meet women and men who have been through a lot of trauma and perpetuated a lot of trauma onto others because they didn't get themselves together and they didn't get their mental health in order before they started a relationship. In my coaching calls, I often hear things like, they make me like this. It's because of them I'm this way. But knowing the background, knowing the relationship history, it's just not true. Not all the time. Part of taking responsibility, part of changing our lives, and part of getting the results we hope to get is about making the necessary changes in our lives. Too often we find ourselves triggered at what a new person might do who's learning us as a partner. We often hear things about people being toxic or relationships being toxic, but we hardly ever hear people take responsibility for what they've contributed to that toxicity. We never hear anybody say, you know what? I am triggered, but I shouldn't be triggered. Not this easily. I need to get me under control. I need to get some balance. Most of the time, the triggered blames the triggerer, who many times is completely ignorant of what they're doing to bring about such a traumatic result or effect on that person emotionally. The best gift you can give your relationship is to learn your own triggers, to get to know yourself, and to handle your mental health actively and intentionally and consistently. So that as you grow and as you evolve, you can do so with your partner instead of away from your partner. We all want things from our relationships. We want to grow. We want to evolve. We want to improve. We want to thrive. But you can't do that if you're neglecting your mind, if you're neglecting your spirit, if you're neglecting your energy. Just like people go to work every day because they need money. Just like people go to the gym every day because they need health. Just like people visit friends every day because they need love and companionship and partnership. In all the different forms we need it as humans. The effort and the exercise that you put into the other areas of your life need to also be addressed with your mental health, especially before you enter a relationship. A lot of times people think they're compatible with someone just because of the phase that they met that person in. Two people meeting each other in a weakened phase of emotional turmoil create a codependent relationship. They think they're compatible until one person starts to self-improve and they realize, oh wait, we're not compatible at all. Our trauma brought us together, but it can't keep us together, especially if one of us is growing or outgrowing where we were. That's why it's so important to deal with this stuff before relationships happen, because as people grow, they generally grow apart because they grow at different speeds if they haven't already come to a relationship whole, or as whole as possible. We'll never be perfect. We'll never be completely ready for anything. There'll never be a perfect time or a perfect mental state. It's always a job. It's always something that we have to work toward. But if you haven't been doing the work, the type of relationship you attract and the type of relationship you give and the type of relationship you develop with your partner is completely different from the type of relationship that you have when your mental health is in order and when your spiritual health and when your energetic health is in order. Two people at full strength may or may not be compatible, even if they were compatible when they were both down low, or when one was a savior and the other one was a victim. The dynamic always changes when a person finally gets their mental health in order, or when a person who is in good mental health lets their mental health go, or stops servicing their mental health on a regular basis. To find out if you have the best shot at a relationship with someone, you need to be at full strength, and they should also be on their journey to maintain their mental health as well. That's why I have this sponsorship with BetterHelp, because I really believe in getting yourself together, or at least doing everything you can to keep yourself together and keep yourself stable and present yourself stable to a relationship. People, for whatever reason, forget the value of that. We know how important sex is in a relationship. We always hear about how important communication is in a relationship. When has anybody ever added mental health to the top things, or mentioned mental health for the top things that they're attracted to, or the top things that they want, or the top things that are most important in a relationship? We always hear sex, communication, respect, honesty. We hear about those things. No one ever mentions mental health because it's always an afterthought. It cannot be if you want a healthy relationship. Too often I meet women who are damaged, who are beaten, who are battered, who are bruised, and who are then trying to limp into another relationship with even less to offer than they had before they were injured by the last person. What type of person do you think they will attract? What type of person sees that missing security, or sees that missing self-esteem, sees that missing self-image, and decides, hey, this is a good opportunity? Most mentally healthy people either want mentally healthy people, or they want someone working on themselves. And most users like the mentally unhealthy. They want you at your worst. They want you at your weakest because they can make use of you then. Maintaining a relationship post the mental health evolution of one person or another, especially if it doesn't bring them to the same place, is very difficult. So this isn't about just selling you some mental health network. This is about getting you together. Whether you do it with BetterHelp, whether you do it with your doctor, whether you do it through other means that you might Google or research, please just do something about making sure that you're prepared emotionally, mentally, and intellectually, and spiritually, and energetically, and vibrationally for a relationship. You want to make sure that every part of you is being serviced. I know too many women doing more damage to themselves by trying to force themselves into relationships because they're trying to pull from those new relationships and accessory relationships with men, and frivolous and casual relationships with men, stability and self-esteem and the sense of love. When if you don't love you, if you don't accept you, if you're not happy with you, no one else can be. You have to love you because no one else can do it for you. And no one else's love can replace the love that you lack for yourself if you haven't gotten that in order. No matter how much a person likes you, no matter what they say about you, no matter what nice things they tell you, if you don't first believe them about yourself, you won't believe them when someone else tells you. So there's no point in starting a relationship where someone's full-time job becomes trying to give you self-esteem. It's your job to manage. That's why it's called self-esteem. And getting a therapist can do it. Making self-improvements can do it. Focusing on your growth and your evolution can do it. Improving as a human being can do it. Taking on more healthy habits, patterns, and practices that you can be proud of can do it. Becoming a better person overall can do it. I guess I've spoken enough. The sun's beaming in. It looks like God is trying to get into the car. All I'm saying is, please get yourself together before you jump into a relationship or seek one, or seek the happiness or the fulfillment that you should already have from another individual. Because if they have the power to validate you, then they have the power to invalidate you. They have the power to make you like yourself, then they have the power to make you loathe yourself. No one man should have all that power. No one should be able to decide what you feel about you. So get what you feel about you together before you start seeking a relationship. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KFIC24 on Instagram. It's bright in here, y'all. I'll get with y'all later.